this interview will be recorded. So if you want to know more about our school, you can ask later after the interview. All right. So Ellen, can you tell me about yourself, please?
Okay, and yeah, Shirley, thank you so much for providing me this opportunity to introduce myself. My name is Elaine De Villa, and I'm from Manila, Philippines, and I'm 40 years old. And I'm a call center supervisor for this moment. Mm, Based on my desk profile, I am very decisive and persuasive person, and in addition, I am optimistic and detail oriented. And for my work history, I've been in the BPO industry for over 8 years, and most of my experience is been dealing with calls from our customers as well, and also handling issues and do coachings for my agents. Okay, and also I am an online teacher for Chinese, and that's the reason why a while ago when you asked earlier about my Skype ID, there's two because I used to be an online English tutor for ACADSOC.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
So I think
so currently you're no longer associated with ACADSOC or Native Camp.
oh with ACADSOC I stopped. I no longer
Mm-hmm.
connected, but in Native Camp, I am still doing part time. I spend 2 hours every day, and if there would be a lot of free time on a weekend, I also do an online teaching.
So what are your schedule in Native Camp?
Schedule is every morning. It's if I am available, I start 7 till 11.
Uh-huh.
But of course, I'm working at night and I do my chores daytime, so I only um, plot schedule 2 hours every day on a weekday and 4 hours on a weekend. So that's weekend every night. That's 7 to 10 or 11.
7 in the morning, right?
No, 7 in the evening. That's every weekend. 7 in the evening till 11 p.m.
Weekend and during weekdays. Do you have? Mm-hmm.
That's 7
Mm-hmm.
a.m. to 10 a.m. That's how I manage my part-time
Okay.
teaching. Okay, but yes, to be honest, Shirley, I'm actually looking for a full-time um, job
Mm-hmm.
for tutorial or English teacher. I mean, for ESL job. So I really I don't want to ask much first because this is really I know that this is recorded, so I might be asking few questions later on as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So we'll park your question for now. Okay. All right. So going back, so currently you're still involved or you're still teaching in native camp, and how long you've been teaching, Elaine? 4
3 years.
years now. Okay. Are you a teacher? I mean, your profession is it a teacher?
Oh no, I'm not. I have a degree, but in Bachelor's of Science, Hotel and Restaurant Management as major, and I work in a hotel industry, and also I settled here in the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
So I started. I mean, I settled myself working in a BPO.
Okay. So why did you venture into, teaching online right now?
Okay. First, of course, I'm doing that for part
Mm-hmm.
time, and though I really enjoy working in a call center. I feel something like a call when my colleague introduced ACASOC, right?
Mhm.
And when I start working and dealing with students, especially with children, I feel the passion in uh, sharing my language or the language that I have or my secondary language as well, right? And spending time with with those kids is really it's not it's different compared with working in a BPO. It's not really stressful actually.
Okay. Well, in our school, you mentioned you're teaching children. What's
In Arkansas.
what's the age bracket or level of your students?
My youngest was 5,
Oh, okay.
and yeah, and I also have I also have um, elementary and high school,
Mhm.
but the youngest is really 5 years old.
What is their nationality?
Chinese for
All
Arkansas.
right. Just wanted to know more about that. What is their application? What are your materials with Arkansas?
But serious, it was given. It is really a system generated materials. Where are you asking
Yeah.
tools
Yes.
actually? Or I mean, okay, we have three tools. Um, the QQ, we have the e-classroom, and we also have the Skype. It depends on the student, which is open on their end.
Mm-hmm.
So we're using three um, tools in teaching.
Okay.
But for materials, everything is given. We have our own module. It depends. Um, it's actually parents' choice, I guess, or the parents are will are are looking into a particular lesson for their kids for a week or two, or even they can request to have it as a reviewer again
Mm-hmm.
if it's not really if the kids really needs to have time to learn more about the given lesson.
Okay. Follow-up question: why did you leave Arkansas?
Um, the time that I was in Arkansas, they're really after plotting schedule. They really ask you to provide them your fixed schedule. But unfortunately, that time when I was still working, I was working full time in a BPO. There are times that I really need to stay longer in the office, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I miss some of my I don't have any cancellation because I don't ask for schedule. Schedule is really broken. It's a schedule which is not really a regular schedule for them. So instead of um, cancellation or instead of giving them some kind of attendance issue, I rather stop or I rather advise them that I would be putting myself full time to my BPO works.
Mm-hmm.
So they agree on that.
Okay. Well, I'm just curious. A bit. I've worked also to a BPO company before, and you're a team leader. However, you still have part-time job, which is Arkansas.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes, because Arkansas is really not, or I mean, was not really asking for um, a full time, or I mean, they're actually asking for some kind of hours in a
mm,
week. I manage it, putting it on 8 hours during my rest day,
uh-huh.
and attend 2 hours daily every day. So I have to um, adjust that schedule to meet their required
Mm-hmm.
hours. So that's how I work with them. But eventually, when there's a lot of from BPO, of course, there's a lot of changes,
Mm-hmm.
right? So every day um, is really not the same time. I can't. I really can sit down and open classes. But during weekdays, yes, I can. But they are really asking to have a fixed schedule, though it's just supportive. So I decided not to continue
Mm-hmm.
rather than to um, to have a bad records in terms of attendance.
Okay. Wow, you've been working hard though,
Yes, because I'm a single mother that time
Ah,
when I
okay.
was working with
Uh-huh.
Akasong. My son is in college, so I really need to work hard. I really need to have part time because my part time earnings would be our allowance, and my BPO salary would go directly to the school, right? So
Wow.
I guess that's how I manage it, and that's really um the determination to work.
Okay. How many children do you have, Elaine? Oh, just one.
Just
Wow.
one. And
Just.
it's already yeah, and it's already working. So now I really want to stay home.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I really would like to continue what I started as a part time and have my full time um, teaching. So
Mhm.
that's why I really want to have this adjustment to step out from BPO and
Mhm.
work full time
So,
at home.
okay. So, when you say full time, how many hours are you expecting for that?
8 to 10
Wow.
because for now I don't have anything to do, right? I staying home, you have a lot of time uh, online to focus on your students and to attend more time I mean to attend more of your time to your students, so I can commit 8 to 10 hours, 5 hours in the morning, 5 hours in the evening.
Wow.
I guess that's pretty cool, right?
Okay. Well, for now, of course, we cannot commit that to you if in case, we hire you. Of course, at first it's like you are still under probationary period. We won't be able to, just give you full time,
Yes, I
yeah.
understand.
So basically, we can just give you what, maybe 4 hours per day, but that's gonna be Monday to Friday, and
That's
and
that's great. Yes.
oh, okay. However, you have scheduled for weekend also 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. because there are instances wherein we have students who have class on weekend.
Yes.
Yeah. So, since we have regular students, some of them has 3 classes per week. Yeah, or for some 2 hours or 2 classes per week or just 1 class per week. So
Okay.
there. So anyways, let's move on. Or do you think you are an introvert or extrovert?
I'm a sociable person. As I mentioned earlier,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, uh, I love what I'm doing. I enjoy working with people in this kind of business. I meet a lot of students every day, different kind of students,
Mm-hmm.
right? I can adjust myself even to a 5-year-old kid to a older or I mean a senior student. That's fine. I'm really optimistic.
All right. So, what is your best asset as a teacher?
Patient.
Uh-huh. Why? Why did you say so?
Yes. Because I'm a parent. You know what parents do to their kids, right? Basically, what you
Mm-hmm.
want is for them to learn, right? And of course, you don't want them to be you don't want them to feel bad,
Mm-hmm.
right? So there's always a way for you to approach them nicely, or maybe you can have a lot of fun time while learning. Yeah, not to make the time so boring, because kids, they tend not to learn because it's really a boring hours for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So patient is really a virtue, right? This is really a skill in teaching. It's really a skill. I don't think it's a virtue, but it's a skill that you need to have in teaching.
Okay. Well, for now, Elaine, our students are actually working professionals in the, yeah, well, in the future we may have children, but for now we are on adults. So, so there. And their nationality is actually Taiwanese.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
because the owner of our school is a full-time teacher also in Taiwan, but she's a Filipino. Okay, so there. Um, what is the most important characteristic a teacher should possess? Yeah.
Characteristic. You should be um, jolly, um, nice, friendly. What else? Huh, characteristic. I think that's it. Approachable, and you need to be positive and determined, and will be that will be your tool to be an effective teacher.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, how do you measure a student's learning level?
Okay. I, I based from my experience. Okay. Um, you have some kind of introduction, or I mean, you have some kind of approach to the student, right? If you see or if you notice that the student has some kind of facial expression or difficulties in getting what you're trying to say, you can actually determine it on how they speak, how they react, or how they talk, right? So you can actually adjust to their face, adjust to their um,
Mm-hmm.
level. Okay, so that's it. Based from my experience, I always figure it on how they speak, they read, and understand.
Mm-hmm. How do you deal with student who has behavior problems in class?
Behavioral is really general, but what do you mean? Is some kind like an irate or has their own understanding?
Mm-hmm.
How do you
Um,
how do you want to understand it?
so either way, how you understand it. So based on your experiences,
As a teacher,
yes.
as a
Mm-hmm.
tutor, I've encountered a lot of students, professional, who is really who has their own um, way, or they want their own way. Okay, so what my approach is, okay, I always listen first. Okay, and giving out my opinion, or it's I really ask if I am open or if they're open with suggestion. And if you are open with suggestion, what I do is i I say it, or I provide it in a positive way. And I always want them to feel that I'm doing this not because I want to do this, it is because I want you to benefit from it. Okay, something like I'm not doing this just for me, for the sake I'm doing. I always want you to feel that I care for what I am doing for you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So how do you deal with students with learning difficulties?
I think baby steps,
Uh-huh.
right? No rush. Um, l- I think everyone would start with zero. I mean zero English,
Mm-hmm.
right? So what you will do is to always put your level. near to them, or I mean, don't talk too fast. Okay, always catch up with them. Is everything okay? Is uh is there any questions? You always ask in each and every exercises, or each and every um, things. You need to know where they are. Okay, you are not doing the lessons just for you to teach what is on the module, but of course you need to know if they are getting what you're teaching. Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. So, since you work in a BPO industry, how do you rate yourself in terms of using technology?
Okay, we always have this fast-paced technology, right?
Yes.
um, yes, adaptable,
Mm-hmm.
we're flexible, and multitasking.
Right.
It's always, and before, right, in Arkansas, every tools are open. It's either because the student having issues on the Skype, my other tool is open just for backups,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So every tool is open, just like in BPO, there's always
Right.
backup.
So, if in the event that we would hire you, Aline, what contribution can you give to our school?
Okay, once I accept this new challenge, that I've been wanting, of course, I can share my great ideas, contribute what would uh, what would help the teaching materials better, okay, or maybe suggestion, and um, because we are the frontliner of the company, of course the contribution is always be a um, good teacher, not only a good teacher but the best teacher. That's really a maybe the great contribution that we can actually offer to start with in the company, giving them the high rate, giving them some praises, or giving them the good impression about the company.
All right. What are your expectations in our school?
Wow, this is really a fun. Um, it's really a fun learning, earning company, right? I'm not. Yes, I always tell to my student that I'm not just a teacher. I'm also a learner. I learn something from my student in return that I'm teaching them, right? So same with company. I'm not only a teacher, but I will always be a learner because of course company has their own. Methods, or I mean, I will be learning and I will improve my profession in a
Mm-hmm.
company in a fun way.
Okay. And lastly, give me a reason why we should hire you.
Okay, so I believe no, because I know that I am one of the strongest applicants, or maybe yes, tutor. I am a strong
Mm-hmm.
tutor or teacher for the position because of my experience, not only in the BPO, okay, in dealing with different kind of people, and I also have the experience in teaching. I can be able to use my skills and talent in appropriate manner to achieve our one goal or situation.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so, oh, by the way, lastly, what's your religion, Elaine? You're
Christian.
Christian. Alrighty. Okay, do you have any questions for me?
Okay, you already provided some
Mm-hmm.
information about the company, so it's for most of your students are adult,
Yes.
right? Okay, so how do you? I really don't know if it's in my position to ask it, but I hope you don't mind me asking. How do you um pay? Is it for hourly or minutes? How do you
Mm,
for class? How is
that's
it?
gonna be per hour. It's 140 pesos per hour. Well, technically, the
Okay.
teaching hour is 55 minutes and 5 minutes for you to fill up your class record.
Okay. And how about is it booking or is it a plotted schedule?
It's plotted schedule. It's like you have regular students already.
Okay, I love it. And yes, that's what I am trying to um,
Mm-hmm.
have. You know, in teacher, when when it comes in teaching, you should have your own students so that you know from the start up until the end the progress, right? So
Exactly.
I really love, yeah, that's what I'm actually looking for. Though in native camp, it's not um your own student because they tend to book you,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? They tend to book your class if you're really good in your if and you have your own student. But if I don't have the fixed schedule, I will not be able to see the progress of my students,
Mm-hmm.
and the methods would be different, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's really hard. Thank you so much for that information.
No problem.
um,
Anything else?
and I cannot think of any question so
Okay.
far.
All right. So there. Now we will schedule your demo teaching, Elaine. So Miss Michelle will take over the demo. When will you be available? Are you available on Tuesday around 6 or 7 p.m.?
Okay, I'll can I message you for my schedule because for now I'm on my um it's the ST time, right? There's an adjustment. So I really need to confirm what time would be the schedule for next week because of the US time,
Mm,
right? They'll be adding 1 hour. So can I confirm it to you surely
sure.
by until Monday?
Okay, but then these are the available schedule for Miss Michelle. That's
Sure.
actually Monday to Friday, that's 6 to 7 p.m.
6 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Yes. And on Saturday, maybe she can have, um, that's gonna be 1 p.m. till 2 p.m.
Okay, so do you have demo on during morning or like 9 a.m. onwards?
No, like I've said, Miss Michelle is a full-time teacher in Taiwan also. So,
Oh, okay, so they're following.
yes.
Yeah.
So those are the only available schedules for her. Now, well, it's up to you for you to adjust your schedule then.
Okay, I'll let you know as soon as I had my schedule verified,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll message you on here on Skype if that's
Yeah,
okay. It's much
sure,
easier.
not a problem.
Okay.
And the
Okay.
once we're done with your schedule, I'll go ahead and send you a copy of the demo material.
Sure.
Okay. All right. So, anything else?
None so far, but how long the demo class would last?
Um,
How many
I think
minutes?
that's just gonna be 20 to 30 minutes. It will be just quick. Yeah,
Okay.
that depends on how you really present the topic,
The
the
materials.
material, right?
Okay. Sure.
Okay, so let's call it a day then, Elaine.
Yes. Thank you so much,
Alrighty, you have
Shirley.
a great evening. Bye now.
Yes. Bye.